Hey there, Big Brother fans. It is Saturday, July 17th, and the Power of Veto competition is underway as I talk to you. I am in Indianapolis visiting one of my kiddos and helping him do some stuff, and I'm taking a break to step outside and record a CarCast for you. What to talk about? So the last one of these I would have done would have been yesterday morning before nominations. And, it took all day long. Well, they did the wild card competition. I'm going to go over most of this stuff as best I can fairly quickly. So for the wild card competition, Frenchie was playing. Oh, crap. Who played for the girl? Sarah Beth played, right? And who was the other person playing? Brent played? You know what? I can't remember who played. But Sarah Beth won. I think it was Brent and Sarah Beth and Frenchie. And Frenchie won. Oh, no, sorry, Frenchie didn't win. Sarah Beth won, and she did not take the option to switch teams for safety. So, in essence, nothing changed. Which then you got on to the nominations, and Kylan had this big organized way of he was going to do things where he's going to talk to everybody, talk to teams together, then talk to individuals, and he did not get to talk to everybody. He did not talk specifically to Frenchie for one of them, and he didn't talk to everyone individually. I'm not sure. There was a sense for some of us that they felt like Big Brother may have rushed the process. I don't know, but either way, in the end, we kind of got a sense of where things were going, and most people did say, Frenchie. So I was kind of surprised. I really didn't think they would. Now, remember, Frenchie is in the Slaughterhouse Alliance, so it's like, I didn't think, what's he going to do? Nominate Derek X and Brittany? Those are the only two that were available, but he didn't do that. He did go after Brittany, and he did put up Frenchie. His argument for Frenchie was that everybody was saying Frenchie's name. He also was using this argument that he's concerned about next week, and he wants to make sure that the strong players are not upset with him or anything, the physically strong players, because he thinks it's going to be a physical competition, so he wants to keep on their good side. And he said of all the people that he talked to, everybody except for Brittany threw out Frenchie's name. And, of course, he had heard that Brittany was bringing information to Frenchie too, I believe. A lot of people just totally, dealt the dirt on Frenchie. So in the end, I'm not surprised at all that that's who he went with. He did get a lecture from Tiffany saying, I don't know, you should at least get rid of, she's calling it a three-headed snake. This was her terms, her words. She's decided that Brent and Frenchie and Alyssa is the three-headed snake. Alyssa, no, it's not Alyssa. Brent and Frenchie and Whitney. Forget that about Alyssa. Although Alyssa is still on the outs as well because she's a member of the Slaughterhouse. So, but it's Whitney and Brent and Alyssa. Sorry, Whitney and Brent and Frenchie. That's the three-headed snake. She said one of those people needs to be gone this week. And, of course, if Frenchie goes, that takes care of that situation. What else? So, yeah, there was really no change. Kylan did tell Derek that he was, he didn't forget that he'd won he'd saved him with the power of veto. So that kind of kept Derek X safe. And really, as we said, everybody else is in fairly decent shape with Kylan. So nominations were made. Frenchie apparently blew up. All kinds of drama. And over the course of I don't know how quick the feeds came back after nominations. Let's not talk about this again about how annoyed we are with feeds. I'm going to pause this for a second because a big noisy truck's coming down the road. I'm sitting outside. I'll be right back. Okay, noisy truck gone. I don't know. Is that worth pausing? I'm not sure. Don't know if you can hear the rooster in the background. By the way, I am in Indianapolis proper, in a small, one of the, I'm in just a neighborhood, but there's a neighborhood down the way that has at least one rooster, and it's just kind of funny to be sitting in a major metropolitan city and hearing a rooster down the road. So Frenchie just went off. Once he was nominated, he said all kinds of stuff, most of which will never make the show. Things about how he was going to donate most of his winnings to a children's hospital. And then he decided to blow up the Slaughterhouse, which he kind of did. He blew up the Slaughterhouse Alliance, although I never heard him blow up the Butcher Alliance. He only blew up the Slaughterhouse Alliance. He would claim that he made all kinds of claims about who's responsible for what. In the end, I don't know who it hurt, if it really hurt anybody other than Frenchie. Most of the people actually in the last 24 hours or so had gotten wind about some of these alliances and stuff, so I'm not thinking it particularly hurt anybody other than Frenchie's game. And then he started to say today, or maybe it was last night too, he said, look, I want Brittany to come down with a power veto. She shouldn't be nominated. Somebody else should be. If I win the power veto, I'm saving Brittany. You guys should all let Brittany win it. Brittany should win it and come off. Of course, why not just leave it the same and just vote him out? But he wants Brittany safe. In reality, at least the closest I can come to it is because he wants to see if he can get Kylan to put up Christian in Brittany's place. So that's the angle that Frenchie was working. I really don't think anybody's buying it. It's hard to get a complete read on it, but listening to Kylan talk to several people, he talked to Christian. Of course, remember, Christian's one he talked to, and Xavier and Sarah Beth at one point, and they were like, or maybe Alyssa. Maybe not Sarah Beth. It was Alyssa was in there. Maybe it was Alyssa, Xavier, and Christian. And they were like, we would be fine if nominations didn't change. Now, they did draw for power veto players. And in that draw for power veto players, the players were... the extra players are Derek X, Alyssa, and Claire. And let me pause here for a second and go half a day back or a day back. The wildcard competition, for what it's worth, was exploding things where you get covered in paint or powder. I guess they were wearing like white tuxedos, because I only remember this because they got them back from the cleaners today. So Big Brother washed them and they're giving them back to them. And they were talking about, it looked like white tux jackets and ties and cummerbunds and the whole thing. So they got those back from the cleaners today. They get to keep their stuff. They get to keep their costumes that they wear for competitions and stuff. A lot of the house guests will sell them in a year or two or less on eBay. So that's what that was. All right, so back to the power veto draws. So Claire, Alyssa, and Derek X are playing. And I don't know if any of them will truly use it. We'll have to see what happens when the power veto is over, which is going on, as I said, right now. So that's the major news. There's been all kinds of stuff going on, all kinds of talk. Frenchie has been just blowing everything up. And I don't know how much of it they're going to be able to show on the TV show, because remember, the tomorrow night's TV show, Sunday's show, will end with nominations. Well, Frenchie blew up. So they're going to have to have the post-nominations blow up. They're going to have the power veto, and then the results of the power veto. There's so much to squeeze in on one show. You know they're going to skip stuff. But that's how it goes. So, yeah, that's it for now, I think. I'm liking, as far as players, maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a player rundown again and talk about each one. Right now, I don't have a cast list in front of me, so it's hard for me to talk about individual cast members and what I think they're doing and without missing someone, and I really don't want to miss someone. I will say that I continue, and I just tweeted it out a few minutes ago. I'm kind of excited to see if the alliance between Derek X and Tiffany and Claire can kind of shape up and solidify, because the three of them have been talking a lot in the past couple of days, and I really want that to become an actual alliance. It isn't one yet as far as I know by name, Derek X and Tiffany have been talking a lot. And then Claire has been brought in talking with Tiffany. So I just think the three of them, it's a perfect alliance. It's perfect on a lot of different things. It's perfect because it's not an obvious alliance. They all seem to have fairly good heads on the shoulders. They all seem have their wits about them. You've got a white woman, a black woman, and an Asian male. I mean, come on, that's a fairly diverse group of people to work together. And so I think it would be cool. It would be interesting, and I'm already behind it, so I hope it keeps going. But all right, that's what I got for you guys. Gotten at least one or two more patrons in the last couple of days. I need to look at it, but as I said, I've been out. I'm not home near a computer. I'm only on my phone. But thank you to you, those of you that have signed up recently. I think I'm up to 18 now, so that's great because I actually have had. I was looking at my stats. I think 3 people are no longer patrons in the last month or so, and so I've added 8 or 9 patrons in the last couple of weeks. That's awesome. I appreciate it, guys. That's really cool. And I've tried to send an individual thank yous to each one of you, but I don't know if I've sent out the most recent ones. And I do want to give a full rundown of everybody to thank you all on the CarCast as well, and I will do that. If not tomorrow, then sometime next week. But that's all I got for now. I'm going to go back in, help my son with his stuff. We were at IKEA today. He was buying some IKEA type furniture to set up a little workstation where he wants to do some stuff. And I need to go help him. But I said he was getting his stuff together. I said, okay, if you're doing that, I'm going to go outside and do my CarCast because I feel the need to do that. And it is a Saturday. Normally, we would have had a Big Brother Gossip show at this point. Hopefully, everybody at this point knows the status and the story behind the Big Brother Gossip show and what's going on. If you don't, I would tell you, just go to bigbrothergossip.com. There's a write-up there from me. By all means, you can check out Scott and Colette's Day Drinking podcast where they talked about their situation a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't tweet at them to pester them. You're welcome to if you really want to, but I'm just saying I'm getting questions about 2 or 3 a day asking the status of the podcast, and so I'm kind of gotten the rote answer at this point, which is please go to this website to read what's up from my view. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this season has been the best season, to my opinion, in a long time. I don't know if Scott and Colette would agree with me, but I certainly think it has. And Scott hasn't disagreed with me. I don't know how Colette necessarily feels, but I mean, Scott and I think are pretty sure are both enjoying this show so far this season and the crazy antics of Frenchie. He just tweeted, I think this morning, that he would be working on the opening at this point or getting ready for it. He thinks the opening would be almost all Frenchie at this point with all his crazy sayings. And it's like, yeah, but the problem is with that is that a month from now, Frenchie's probably not going to be in the house anymore, and we have an opening that is somebody that's not in the house anymore doing most of the talking. Will be like, oh, well, wow, I miss Frenchie, or what the hell, why do we still have Frenchie on here? Of course, the why I miss Frenchie would be if the season was a complete flop after Frenchie left, and the why is he on here would be because, you know what, even once Frenchie was gone, we still had a really great cast and a great show, and I do think it's going to be the latter. I do think that even if Frenchie goes this week, I think we'll still be fine. There's going to be lots of people in the house that are working and conniving and doing stuff, so, yeah. All right, with that, I am out of here. It's only at 14 minutes. That's not too bad, but be well. Thank you. Thanks again to my patrons. If you are interested in becoming a patron of this CarCast and my YouTube lives and my Twitter, just if you want to support me because I'm doing this and reporting and talking about Big Brother, you are more than welcome to. You can go to patreon.com, patreon.com/BBGOSSIP, just like my Twitter handle. And there's a patron page there, and you can sign up and become a patron. And with that, I'm going to wish you a good evening, and we'll talk to you later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.